Hey there, everybody. Pastor Johnny here, and I'm excited to have you back here with us as we continually go through some of these devotionals. And today I want to talk a little bit about worship, because when it comes about worship, there are really sort of three important players when it comes to worship. There's the audience, there's the performer, and then there's the director. And so my thought today is this, is that are you in the audience? Some of us think that that's where we live, and the fact is that you may be in the audience for worship when it comes to church or when it comes to God, but the fact is that nobody is ever always in the audience. That you are a worshiper. We all are. Every one of us, we're worshiping something at some point. God understood this in Exodus 20. He says, "You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself idols. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God." God knew that we all worship. It doesn't really how much you want to be an introvert or how much you want to be behind the scenes. You are worshiping something. Let me ask you, where do you put your time or your energy? What do you think about the most? What are you worshiping? You see, we're not always in the audience. At some point, you become a performer. You will become like that thing that you worship the most. Psalms 115 says it like this, says, "But their idols are silver and gold, made by the hands of men. Those who make them will be like them, and so will all who trust in them." Who is God in your life right now, and what has He done for your life, and what has He done for you? The truth is that if we answer that question honestly, then for most of us, the only reasonable response is for us to worship Him. The fact is that we may walk through life wanting to be a part of the audience all the time, to sort of sit back and just watch. And a lot of us treat worship at church that way, and that's okay. You can do that. But the fact is that you worship somewhere, somehow. You know, there are people that come to our church that their worship happens during the offering time. There are people that come to church and their worship happens when they're at the front door greeting people and saying, "Welcome." There are people who worship during the middle of the coronavirus by making phone calls with some of you and just saying, "Hey, I love you, I miss you, I can't wait to see you." The fact is that you may want to be a part of the audience all the time, but you are a performer somewhere, in some way. The question is what director are you performing for? I encourage you, as we walk through this time right now and we wonder and we question what we're going to do and where our time is being spent and how we're living our lives, to ask that simple question: what director are you listening to? Are you listening to the director of money, of worry? Are you listening to the director of necessity? Are you listening to the director, the God who loves you so much? And like I said earlier in Exodus, He's a jealous God. He's jealous not because He wants to get mad at you for worshiping something else. He's jealous because He loves you so much that He wants the times when you perform to be for Him. I encourage you this week to take some time and question what you're worshiping, where your time is going, where your mind is at, where you're spending your energy on. And try to remember what director you really want to be guiding your journey. And as you do that more and more and more, you will see that your life and your worship will change. The more you worship the director in heaven, the more you become more like the director in heaven, because you become what you worship. I love you guys. Find something great to worship this week when it comes to God. Doesn't mean you have to raise your hands or sing out loud in front of everybody. You might worship Him in little bitty ways. Reaching out to a friend, making a phone call to somebody who needs it right now, dropping off a bag of groceries to somebody that can't leave their house. Just find a way to worship the director by being one of His performers. Don't live in the audience when it comes to God. He's jealous and He wants to experience you. I love you guys. Have a great week.